Who's ready to get a little bit better? If so, comment yes right now. This is a video that I'm pretty excited about bringing to you because I've got a book written on this topic. Haven't quite got it published yet, but it's coming. It's going to come. I think 2021 is the year. I'm just going to knock that out because I put it on hold. The topic, journaling. And oh my goodness, because I talk about it so much, I get tons of comments on this of Mark, what's the big deal? Like, why should I journal? I know it works for you, but I'm not a believer. Why should I journal? And you know why people ask me that question? It's because you people that have been asking that question, you ones that ask other people why do you journal? It's because you think inside that you're missing out on something because you've heard so many people say, I journal and this or that. Literally I have a stack of journals over here in my office of just stacks of journals because that's my life. I've been journaling for 15 years and I talk about it all the time. Probably more than I should. If we were at a party and you were like, hey, what do you do? To grow, I'd start talking about journaling, and then an hour later you'd be like, hey, walking away trying to find somebody else to talk to because this habit has changed my life. And if I could give you a little help on this one, this is so big that this is the first time I think I've done this in these videos. I'm going to do two parts. And the first question I'm going to answer for you is what I just said. Well, why should I journal? Why should I journal? And the pain point of that is because you're asking that because you think you're missing out on something. And I will confirm for you, you're missing out on more than you ever imagined. Journaling is amazing. It'll change your life. You should totally journal, okay? So let me give you 4 reasons why you should journal. Why you should, why everyone should, your cousin, your second, third uncle, everybody should journal because it has massive, massive benefits. Number 1, why should you journal is because you are losing way too much. You're losing too much. You're losing too much of the clarity that you got. You're losing too much of what God said. You're losing too much of that idea you had. It was a $1 million idea, but it happened back there and you never wrote it down 5 years ago. And because you didn't write it down, you lost it. And why is that? Because your brain is finite. You have limited capacity just like I do. I will tell you this. I never realized how much I was missing or how much I was losing until I started writing it down. When I started journaling, this journal here, it would take me... Oh, wait, let me grab it. Don't worry, I'm not nervous. I've done this before. This is my very first journal from August 20th, 2004 is when I started it. This is the first journal. This one took me, this 80-page me notebook, took me 1.5 years to fill this baby up. But now this is what I use now. Great, great journal, leather bound. And this takes me 2.5 to 3 months. Literally, I'm about ready to finish this one up, and it's been 2.5 months. This right here, I could go back. So the point I'm talking to you about is you don't realize how much you're missing. 2.5 months. And I can go back to the beginning of this. In fact, I did it the other day over this weekend. And I went back and I read some stuff. I was like, I totally forgot about that. And we're talking weeks, months of things that I wrote right here. And I already forgot it. Listen, if you don't have a way to capture all the stuff, the learnings, the revelations, the ideas, the creativity, the healing, the growth, if you don't have a way to capture it, you are losing more than you could ever possibly imagine because your brain is finite. So journaling, why journal? Because you're going to capture all that goodness and have it have a resource to tap back into again and again and again and again of all the awesome stuff that you're learning, growing, hearing, all those kind of things. So number 1, you should totally journal because you don't realize how much you're losing. Number 2, why journal? Because your mental health will thank you. Oh my goodness. Listen, now more than ever in the world we're living in, I think journaling should be a must for you because your mental health will thank you. What I do, therapy, counseling, highly encourage it. Everybody should get some. I just did a week-long marriage intensive with my wife. Marriage counseling, counseling for you, therapy for you, get a life coach, all that stuff, get it all. But this right here, I don't even have to pay an hourly rate when I pick this baby up. And if you read this, listen, you would see my dysfunction on the inside. You would see the cycles of defeat. You would see the mindsets the limiting beliefs that I battle on an ongoing basis. You would see the real me in the pages of this journal, right? But my mental health, like this keeps me sane. Literally, there'll be days where like I get grumpy or something. I know you never have those days, but I do occasionally. And my wife will literally look at me and she'd be like, "Can you just take your journal and go?" Like she knows that this is a mental reset. It is what keeps me healthy on the inside. It keeps me sane when I don't know what to do, when I don't know how to deal with what I'm dealing with, when I just need to hear from God, when I'm frustrated with my wife. Like literally my mental health is secure when I am journaling on a daily basis because I'm able to process, I'm able to filter, I'm able to be honest, real and raw in the pages of my journal. And so journaling is and there's a lot of scientific studies about this, like 15 minutes journaling is enough to reset you and to bring a healthy release to all that stuff going on the inside. So number 2, your mental health will thank you. Number 3, this will be different for all of you, perhaps, but for me, it is where I connect with God. You should journal because you can connect with God consistently. This is my practice. It's a whole lot more than just connecting with God, but this is where God does his best work on the inside of me. Now, some of you are more spiritually focused, and so, hey, like make it a spiritual exercise. Connect with the universe. I don't know what you say, but hey, this right here, God shows up. Like higher power, hello. This is where God speaks to me, and so this creates a space to consistently do that, and not just to connect, but to capture again, because that way I don't lose it. Like yesterday, oh my goodness, I wrote like 2.5 pages in my journal. Like I was reading out of Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew. Oh my goodness, like just revelation that literally changed my life. And I could forget that next week, but I won't because I wrote it down. It's probably going to be in a book eventually because it changed my life that much. All right, so you consistently connect with God. And then the last thing, I'll give you number 4 as a bonus. Increase your clarity. Why journal? Listen, you don't realize this yet, but sometimes you don't know what you're thinking until you write it out. I write myself questions. I ask myself questions. I ask God questions. In fact, I asked myself a question this morning and I got an answer, and literally I had to send somebody some money via Venmo because I asked the question, I answered it very fast, and I was like, okay, no time like the present. And so ask questions and I process and I think better. Listen, you might not realize it, but thinking on paper is one of the best ways that you can think. Now, I know some of you are verbal processors. I get that, right? But even if you're a verbal processor and you need to have a conversation to think out loud, even after that, you got to capture, because if you don't capture, you're going to lose it. So those are 4 reasons why you should really seriously consider journaling. It may be the habit, like it has been for me, like the habit that has brought the greatest transformation in my life, bar none, beyond shadow of a doubt, no question. Greatest habit that's brought transformation in my life. So you should totally consider journaling. You could start today. I hope this helped you about the why behind journaling, and you should get off this video right now and go out there and give your greatness to the world, because somebody needs what's on the inside of you. Go out there and give it away. You're amazing. I love you people. Have a great day.